What is going on, guys? Bet Records back here again for actually a fight night preview of this weekend's upcoming fight. Justin, who do we got coming up this weekend here?
Well, we have a really big clash in the main event between two elite middleweights looking to become the number one contender and get another shot at champion Israel Adesanya. We have the number two contender Paulo Borrachina Costa versus number four contender Marvin the Italian Dream Vittori. Meeting for the first time, they will be meeting this Saturday at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas for a number one contendership on the line.
There we go. And they both face the current champion already here. So let's go ahead and look at Costa's couple final moments of that initial fight here. Let me go ahead and play this clip for you guys here.
And then he's going to go to the leg again.
Oh! Knockdown for Adesanya! Costa trying to recover.
Wait for it.
That is it.
Wow.
Still undisputed. Quick
There's your
night at
favorite
the
part.
office for the champion, Israel Adesanya.
This is just beautiful
Here's
work
your
here.
favorite part.
Oh,
Ooh.
right off the dome.
Surprised
I
that
don't know how
didn't
Costa
knock,
ate
that
that
didn't
one.
knock him out.
Split him open, though. And at this point,
It looks like after these couple of highlights they're showing, it looks like he kind of got. I mean, he's bleeding right there on that one. I should say, where I paused it.
And here
What was his issue with that fight, Justin? Why was Costa didn't look like it was a close fight, at least from this recap here?
Well, do you want me to get into the logical reason or the excuse that he gave?
Lay it all on the table. What do you got, huh?
So going into this fight, I really thought that it was going to be a fight of the year. Both fighters were undefeated on Fight Island. I thought it was going to be a barn burner, but it turned out to be the complete opposite. Adesanya dominated from bell to bell, and he got the finish in the second round. And when watching that fight, you noticed that he outclassed Costa at his own game, walking him down, striking him, leg kicking him. After the first round, his leg was completely shot. And eventually he took all that beating. Second round it came, and he got knocked out. Now, if we're going to talk about excuses that he made, he used every single excuse in the book for, it was my worst night. But 3 months later, he comes out and he says, this is why I lost. I couldn't sleep the night before, so I drank a whole bottle of wine to help me sleep. So I was drunk going into the fight, and I fight with a hangover. And to that, Paulo Costa, I cheers you.
One bottle of wine the night before the fight, Justin. I know we're average day drinkers, especially on a Wine Wednesday where we go through a bottle if not two. Is this a valid excuse, or is it just some bullshit in the UFC again here?
Well, he claims the reason that he drank that bottle of wine because he was having leg cramps, and the fight was supposed to take place around 9 a.m. local time because they were in Abu Dhabi. And it was 2 a.m. Claimed he couldn't sleep because of the leg cramp. So he had some wine, had one glass, that didn't do it. Took a second glass, that didn't do it. So he ended up drinking the whole bottle and went to sleep and basically said that he fought Adesanya drunk.
Damn.
Seems precise.
I mean, whatever helps you sleep at night, bro. But
Hey, obviously it wasn't the wine.
you're telling me that you're 8 hours away from the biggest fight of your life, and you're just gonna toss back a bottle, like, like you should be motivated. One thing I do get is maybe not sleeping the night before. It's because, man, like I'm fighting for a title tomorrow, so there's just excitement. You just want to get in there and get it done, but you got to sleep. But
Yeah.
the whole bottle of wine excuse is just laughable.
Yeah.
He was supposed to fight Derek Brunson back in May, I think. He pulled out of the fight because citing that he wasn't getting paid what he was worth. But then a week later, he posts on his Instagram that he's getting a hair transplant, and the whole MMA community just grilled him for that. So I don't know what's going on in Brazil over there with Costa. I don't know, like wine to hair transplants. What more has this guy got? Damn good fighter though, but let's just hope he doesn't show up drunk on Saturday.
Yeah.
I hope so.
That's an interesting take. Let's go ahead and look at the other opponent in Vettori here in his last couple moments in the previous championship fight here.
Trying to drag him down. Late shot from Marvin Vettori, cosmetic.
This is basically when it's over at this point.
To UFC middleweight.
Look here, I mean, this fight was all Israel Adesanya. Beautiful leg kicks, but early on, Marvin Vettori did a really good job catching that leg kick and getting him down. But from there on, Izzy had no issues.
A couple of highlights there. Justin, thoughts about that fight and what needs to change in his corner to get this victory against his new opponent?
Well, I will say that after that fight, I kind of became a Vettori fan, not because of his fighting, but after watching the press conference, the pre-fight press conference. For those of you who haven't seen it, look up the press conference. Marvin Vettori was just hilarious, unintentionally hilarious. Just he showed up with the suit, the glasses, and everything, the accent. He sounded like your typical angry Italian guy, and just it was just with the accent getting angry. So he kind of won me over as a fan just because he was being unintentionally funny. So his whole thing in the Adesanya fight was just to out-wrestle him, maybe get a submission or just wear him out. But that didn't work. He wasn't able to keep Adesanya down. And nothing's more exhausting than taking someone down and then them getting back up and then trying to take him down again.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So what I think is going to happen in this fight with Costa is Israel Adesanya did a breakdown of the fight, what he thinks is going to happen. He thinks that he said he's going to give the edge to Paulo Costa, but he wouldn't be surprised if Vettori wins because he really thinks that Vettori's just going to try and wrestle, and he would succeed in that because, you know, Costa was bragging to Adesanya the whole time saying, oh, I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and yet he's never attempted a takedown in UFC. So, brag. I could be wrong about that, but all I know is in all the fights I've watched, he's never wanted to grapple ever. He's been taken down. I think he got taken down by Romero, but I haven't seen him initiate a takedown. So if he's really this so-called black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he's going to have to prove it on Saturday against a really good wrestler, Marvin Vettori. But one thing Vettori will need to watch out for is Paulo Costa and his steroid energy. Fucking guy is jacked up like a mule, an overly inflated balloon animal. He is just getting ready to pop. The only guy to really walk down Yoel Romero and strike with him, nobody ever walks down Yoel Romero, and Costa did that and got the win in a fight of the night back at UFC 253 or 243, I think it was. But don't fact check me on that. It was in the 40s. I know that. But yeah, so if I had to take a pick in this fight, I'm gonna have to go with Paulo Costa. This one, I just think the power is gonna be too much. He's gonna try and strike with him. Vittori's only chance is to take him down against submission because he's not knocking Costa out. No way.
Fair. And,
Sure.
then, so if we actually see Costa lose, do you think he'll end up with some of the same old excuses? Do you think he'll drink a bottle of wine the night before just in case?
See, the funny thing was when he claimed that excuse months after Adesanya lost, he even had a picture to prove it. Like he had a picture.
It was premeditated, man.
Yeah, but and back in March when Israel Adesanya lost for the first time, when he tried to bump up to 205 to take out Blachowicz, after the fight was over, Costa tweets out and he's just like, "What happened, Adesanya? Were you drunk?" And then he posts a picture of him like sipping some SIE.
Jesus.
So I don't know if drunk Costa's going to show up or sober Costa. I don't know. What would you guys think about that? Just drinking a whole bottle of wine and then going out and doing a fist fight.
Oh yeah, seems like a pretty terrible idea. You know, I don't want to do anything after I drink, so I think I want to fire somebody.
Yeah, I think at that high of competition,
Yeah,
probably
it's
not, it's like doing it before a football game. I mean, probably not the best way to go about it. There's definitely more likely for an injury, I'm pretty sure, as well at the same time.
Yeah, I loved it when in the Vettori Adesanya press conference, they were going back and forth about how like, oh, their resumes and who they beat. And Vittori's just like, you lost to Jan, and who else you beat? You beat Borrachina Costa, a guy who was drunk the night before.
Oh, goodness.
Funny. A lot of shit in the UFC. Any final comments here, Justin, before this fight takes place this weekend and before we sign off here?
I'm gonna go with my prediction. I'm gonna say that Costa gets Vettori out of there. I'm gonna say he's gonna get him in the third round.
Nice. All right. Solid prediction.
Knockout?
Yeah, I think so. I think Vettori will try and do his whole wrestling thing. Costa's going to be on the back of his heels. He's going to be expecting that takedown to sprawl it. But then once Vettori gets tired from attempting all those, if he even gets a couple, then Costa's just going to start to unload. If not, like, let's say that he just comes up ready. He might even get him out there in the first round. Who knows? This guy has power like no one else. He can pack a punch. He can shut your lights out. Costa is a very dangerous fighter, and you need to watch out for him. Making his return, just as long as he doesn't crack open a bottle of wine the night before, he should be good. He'll get a match against Adesanya.
There you go. So is it the winner of this will face the champion? Is that how it's decided? Or there's a couple more hoops they got to jump through at that point?
Well, that's a little tough to say because right now, Adesanya is going to be fighting Robert Whittaker in a rematch. Whittaker hasn't lost since losing to Adesanya. He's fought Gastelum, he's fought Cannonier, and Darren Till after losing to Adesanya. 3 top-tier guys, and he's the clear-cut number 1 contender, so he's getting the next shot without a doubt.
Sure.
If Vettori wins, I don't know if he would get another one because he's fought Adesanya twice and he's lost both times. So why would he get a third fight with him, even losing? And for Costa, possibly it really depends because I think that even after the Whittaker fight, if Adesanya wins, I think Derek Brunson's going to be next because Derek Brunson's been 5-0 in his last 5 fights, and his last loss was to Adesanya.
Makes sense.
And he'll be fighting Jared Cannonier for the number 1 contender. So I think the winner of that fight is going to get the next shot at Adesanya. So I would say the loser of Whittaker. I would say if Whittaker loses, I think he will fight the winner of Costa versus Vettori. So I would say if Adesanya beats Whittaker, he's going to get the winner of Cannonier and Brunson, and I'm going to say Brunson gets the next shot.
Yeah. So we'll be waiting a while if it does happen.
Yeah.
Possibly, depending on how much of a turnaround these guys want.
Fair
Yeah.
as well.
The camps are exhausting.
Factors at play.
Yeah, definitely a lot of factors there. That is about it for this short clip here today. Thanks to our UFC specialist, Justin, for joining us as always. Thanks, Q-Tip, for hopping on here with me as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed for more sponsor content all year long. UFC, NFL, you know where to find it. Make sure to follow us on Instagram as well for live updates every single day. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.